Hey guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. Today is Letters to Blue. If you are brand new to my channel, welcome. I am Blue. I'm a medical coder. Every week I take some of the letters that I've gotten from emails and from viewer comments and I put it all into one episode so we can do a deep dive discussion about it. If you would like to have your letter submitted for next week's Letters to Blue, I hope that you will email me, and I'll leave my email address in the description box below, or comment on any of the videos. And with that being said, let's go ahead and begin. But thank you to everybody who submitted their letter. And first letter. She says, "Hi Blue, I found your channel this past spring. It has been so helpful. I made the decision to go back to school for my CPC this past fall. I will be taking my certification exam soon, and I will be looking for a position which I know can be challenging. I also have a unique story. I was in a graduate program, Doctor of Physical Therapy, for 4 years. I completed all but the final internship at the hospital due to health reasons, as well as the program being unwilling to make accommodations. Unfortunately, I realized I would be unable to complete the program and would need a career change. I recently spoke with a disability career advocate and will continue to, but I wanted your advice as well, since you are in the coding profession. This career advocate advised me to leave off my graduate school and internship experiences for my resume in interviews and applications. She feels that this would intimidate interviewers and they would feel that I am overqualified and would likely leave for a position for something better. I understand her concern, but I also feel these valuable experiences that have given me a vast medical vocabulary and experiences in inpatient, outpatient, and in workman's comp. I am hoping my experience would give me the advantage in the job market. In addition, I am only 28 and I don't have much else on my resume. I would love to hear your response on how to handle this appropriately, and I look forward to hearing from you soon." So I did respond to the viewer, and I gave her just a few other tips, but I wanted to share this with you guys because I know this happens quite a bit. Somebody that has been in the medical field or some other position in the medical or something of a higher education decides to go into medical coding. So it's like, do you leave that off of there? Do you add it on? How do you handle this? Because if you have a big amount of education, you really should think about using what you can out of it, right? Because, obviously you worked hard to get it. Here's the thing. So when it comes to this, I did advise her to, yes, make sure she includes her anatomy, physiology, and medical terminology, the fact that she understands all of this. Those are transferable skills that she's gotten from schooling. That is easily explained by, well, I was in college and, I went to school and things like that. So that can be explained why you have all of that training. And the fact that she has all of this training is going to make her more valuable. However, it won't guarantee that you will get a job right away, even in the beginning, because all medical coders go through this. 98% of us, I say this a lot, 98% of us have this issue in the beginning where, we're trying to get jobs and things like that, but it is a challenge in the beginning to find work because everybody wants experience. And it's just one of those things. Medical coding is kind of weird because they want you to have experience, but how are you supposed to get experience if no one will hire you? This is why you have to be very persistent, especially in the beginning, and you have to apply everywhere. And you, regardless of whether they're asking for experience or not, and you have to have a really good resume and cover letter. So all of these things combined with a persistent attitude will get you in the door, because we all had to start somewhere at some point. So, but that would be my advice. If you are coming from an extensive educational background, use what you can and put it on your resume. Put those skills on your resume, because they don't know if you know anatomy, physiology, and medical terminology. They have it all the time in their job listings, but a lot of times people will leave that off because they think, oh, it's just common sense. I got my certification. They should know I know my medical terminology, anatomy, and physio. We all know what happens when we assume, right? So but that bit of advice, I would say to go ahead and make sure you highlight all of that, because being educated when it comes to this field is going to go a long way, especially when it comes to anatomy, physiology, medical terminology. They want people that are sharp with that, because it takes a lot to go from being just a regular, okay, I got trained through a program coder, into, okay, now I really know the depths and understand this clinic. So it's going to take some finesse and some time. But again, if you have those skills, go ahead and put them down. And when it comes to big things like this, I tend to agree with the advocate, how they told her to sort of leave that off, because it can be intimidating for an interviewer, because they could say, well, why would you want to be a medical coder when you were going to be a doctor? You know what I mean? Like, I understand that, because it's just like, okay, well, yeah, they may leave us for something that would be a lot more, you know, intellectually stimulating, or although it runs about the same, I think. But of course, the doctor is going to be at a stratospheric level than a medical coder, because they have so much more to do. But that would be my advice, is to use what you can from the skills that you've been trained, and put that down there. Things like the doctor, I would agree with the advocate to leave that off, because it's just going to intimidate the interviewer. At least that's just my opinion. All right. Next letter. They say, "Hi, Blue. I've been binge watching your YouTube videos to decide if medical coding is something that I want to pursue. I found your videos to be most helpful. Thank you. I was going to enroll in the AAPC program today. However, I watched a video you made 7 months ago where you mentioned that medical coders are subject to drug testing. I have a herbal medical card. Would I be disqualified? My background check is 100% clear, and I don't have any other, I don't do anything for recreational purposes like that, herbal. I will continue to tell others about your channel. I love your encouragement paired with being straightforward." Ah, thank you. I'm going to do some research. My doctor recommended the card to me, so I'm going to look at other treatments. Thanks again. All right. When it comes to being tested, yes, you do have to take and pass a screen, because for the simple fact that we work in a medical environment, they are looking for certain things when they're doing a drug screen on people, and that would come up as positive, and that's a big no, because those are the rules. Since things are changing, though, with the laws, and certain states are becoming more liberal when it comes to that kind of thing, it may or may not affect employers, because employers are still going to hold steadfast to what is going to protect their business. And the fact that, well, it's somebody that does this on the weekend, they don't know. Unless they are physically with you, they don't know. They don't know if you're going to wake up one morning, do that, and then show up to work. You know, and so, I mean, that's them protecting their business. So you can't really fault them for protecting their business. At the same time, I understand that it is a medicinal thing. I totally get it. I understand. I'm not saying anything yay or nay, but what I am saying is this: employers are going to be looking at this stuff. If you want to be a medical coder, this is something that's going to come up. A lot of people that get into this, or they study for it, no one told them that they were going to get screened. And so when they start applying for jobs, naturally they're popping up positive, and then they get upset because they don't get a call back. You're not getting a call back because you can't pass that one part. There's a lot of things when you're applying for jobs. You got to be able to pass a background check, drug screen, and you got to be able to pass their assessment test, whatever assessment they're going to give you, because they are going to test you, because they need to make sure that you understand the fundamentals of how to code in order to hire you or take a chance on you. They do take chances on new people. This is why I tell you guys that even though you've been at a school and you've gotten your certification, you still need to continue to practice, because that is going to play a huge part when you start to apply at these places. And when you get ready to start coding, you need to still have that stuff fresh in your mind. So just because you finished your test doesn't mean you need to stop. So that is my advice there. But yes, if you do this, then you need to know that the employers are going to screen you. And if you say, well, I'm going to do it, not going to do it before I just to get the job. Well, know this, at any time they could randomly screen people. And that is another thing too. I've seen people do that. I've seen employers do that. And it can just be random. I've been tested every single time I have been at a new job. I mean, that's a standard part of getting hired. So that is something that you expect to have to do. And so, the employer pays for it. I mean, obviously, but, that is something that you guys should know. And there's sort of no getting around that, So next letter. She says, "Hi, Blue. I'm from the Philippines. I've been watching your vlogs about medical coding, and I got really interested to pursue that career since I am a registered nurse, but not practicing at the moment. I am working as a pharmacy assistant in a hospital for almost 7 years now. I just want to ask your expert advice since I am a beginner and planning to do self-study for CPC exam. I cannot afford to enroll in a medical coding course, so I'll study on my own and take my luck on the exam. Medical coders is not widely known here in the Philippines, so I don't know where to go ask for good advice. May I know what main books I need to purchase for study and use on the exam? I heard there's 3 books, but I have no idea what versions I will buy. And also, can you please give me advice on how to start self-studying since I have a foundation in medical terminologies? What will be my next step? Thank you so much and God bless." Well, thank you very much for your letter. And the thing is, I do have the video out about independent study. The thing about medical coding, guys, you can study on your own to become a medical coder. You don't even have to go through a formal program in order to sit for the certification exams. There's the American Health Information Management Association and the American Academy of Professional Coders. The CCA is the entry-level certification exam, and it is a 2-hour exam. You do not have to go through a formal program, and you don't have to be a member of their association of AHIMA, the American Health Information Management Association. You don't have to be a member in order to pay to take their certification exam. I'm going to put that video link below for the independent study. If you have already got and mastered your medical terminology, anatomy, and physio, just follow the calendar, because I do have it on there, like broken down into weeks. And you can just skip all the stuff that you already know, study what you need to know, and then go from there and then schedule your exam and do great things. Then there's also the American Academy of Professional Coders. They have the CPC, and that is a certified professional coder. And in the beginning, it'll have the -A until you have exhausted their time requirement to have that A on there, the apprentice. And there's rules about getting that removed. It is based on time. It's a 2-year commitment, or you can speed it up by going through the Practicode, which is an AAPC product, and it'll take 1 year of time off of your 2-year commitment. So that way you can, if you're working, you can do that simultaneously, and then you can get your A removed within like a year. So, if you want to do that, it's totally cool. If not, it's fine too, because people hire all the time CPCAs. All right. So it's an option for you. But with AAPC, you do have to be a member of their association before you can pay to take your certification exam. Their exam is 5 hours and 40 minutes. Now, don't let the fact that the CCA is a 2-hour exam fool you. It's not easier. Trust me. You can look on the AHIMA website for the first-time pass-fail rates, and it'll let you know how serious this test is. So both associations have their perks, but either one of them is fine, because that's what employers are looking for. So either route you go. But like I said, if you follow that, it's a template of study. If you follow the template of study, you should be prepared for either one of these certification exams by the end of the time that you've been studying. So that is what I can offer on that. Again, all the books are going to be listed there too as well, all the books that you need. But you can look at the association that you're going to sit for their certification, whether it's a CCA or the CPCA, and you can see what books are required. So you can go that route as well. That is just a suggestion. So that is my advice on that one. And the last letter. All right, she says, "Hey Blue, I've been looking at local programs for medical coding in my city, and the cheapest one is about $17,000 for 9 months. And I don't qualify for financial help. For my finances, that is way too much. But I have found that my local adult school offers the program online for 4 months for about $500 for the classes and the textbooks that would be out of pocket along with the exams. So roughly about another $600 or $700 on top of that. The adult school being my only reasonable resort. Do you think it's realistic and manageable? In 4 months? Nope. And I will never, ever advocate for accelerated medical coding programs. Never. Nope. 4 months is entirely too fast. It's a lot of information that's being thrown at you. And even for nurses who I have talked to, who have, of course, their extensive background in anatomy, physiology, and medical terminology, they still struggle with a 4-month program, 16-week program that they were trying to go through. It's still a very difficult thing to try to sandwich in all of this knowledge in 4 months. It is unrealistic. Now, I don't know every single program, but a lot of these accelerated programs, once they have your money, they're going to give you whatever their program is designed to give you. If they're not hands-on with you and you're learning this all on your own, you may as well go through the independent study route. All the books are listed right there. And if you're going to basically give all your money to this place, they should at least, you should at least find out how much are they going to train you, what other assistance are they going to give you? Because before I give away my money, I want to make sure that I'm going to get my money's worth, especially when it comes to something like this. Now, today I was looking online and I've seen the cost of medical coding programs range from $500 all the way up to $3,200. Some were $10,000, some were $15,000 or $16,000. And my mind is just boggled. Literally, my mind is just boggled, just the amount of the range of money. And I'm like, this is like the training. You can go to the certification programs online, and as far as like the associations, you can go to either one, and you can get that training not for $10,000 or $15,000. You can get it for under $4,000 when it's all said and done. But between like the test fees and the books and things like that, I mean, you're looking at less than $4,000 if you go to the associations. There are medical coding programs online. So, I mean, it's entirely up to you. It's your choice. But I will say this, that is entirely too fast. Even $500 for 4 months, but you got to pay for everything else. Like I said, that's another $600 or $700 on top of that $500. So you're in to that school about $1,100 or $1,200. That's a lot of money. And are you going to get the training? Are you going to be ready after 4 months? If you have no background in medical, no, absolutely not. Not to be a certified medical coder with AHIMA or AAPC. That's entirely too fast. I am a reader, and I'm going to bring myself back into this thing because I went through a trade school, and they literally put me in front of a computer and said, here, learn. I was learning online. I may as well have been at home learning this, but I was at the school. And they had all the program online. The program was designed to be 9 months. I got through in 6 months, but I was going through at a rapid pace because I am a reader. I am a researcher. That is what I do. I had a lot of things going on personally that was driving me. I was going through a divorce and I was, doing all of these things. There was a lot of stuff going on, and that was driving me. The whole thing, it was just driving me, and I wanted to get done. I wanted to start my life again. So that was pushing me forward. So for me to make it through in 6 months, I don't recommend that, but because that's incredibly fast. But at the same time, again, it depends on how much you're into it as well. And that was just me. I could not imagine trying to make it through in 4 months. Never. 16 weeks? No. No. So I will never recommend the accelerated medical coding programs. I recommend if you're going to do anything, either go to the associations themselves. I can't really vouch for any of the other online schools because I don't know. Some people say they did really good with Penn Foster. Some people say they do really good with Career Step. And then, you know, there's just a bunch of different reviews. So I haven't been through those programs. And that's the thing that makes it difficult for me to say. You know what I'm saying? So again, the only thing I can really recommend is going to the associations themselves or doing the independent study route, which I think anybody is capable of doing the independent study route if you go through the steps, follow the directions, and just read the books or get the books, go through them, and just go that way. I mean, to me, it's I don't know. I mean, it's up to you, but it is possible to do this on your own. I think anybody who has the willingness to do it on their own can do it. At least that's just my advice on that one. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. But I hope this advice was helpful. And thank you guys for joining me. And I will see y'all on the next episode. Bye.